It's take 3. Hey, welcome back to the Shane and I Show. My name is Shane.
I'm Max, and blue's a primary color. That's the third time I've said that.
It is. But in our defense, we've had some interruptions.
We've had some interruptions. And fortunately, they all came super early in recording.
Yeah. And luckily, we don't have a professional podcast studio, so...
Yeah.
You want to send me some money to to build a professional podcast studio?
Yes. If you send us professional studio money, we will. I'll send you feet pics, man.
For a while,
dude. Let me tell you something. I think it is the dream to be able to make a living off just sending feet pics to people.
Yeah, feet pics, or just like weird ass body parts that people are into.
Yeah.
I mean, because feet are weird to me, right? Because I don't know.
Yeah, but there's.
By the way, this is a podcast about nothing.
Oh, yeah. That makes you think of something.
And we're just going to go with this.
Yeah.
Because to me, like, it's weird because I know people with feet fetishes.
Me too. It's so common.
And like, I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I don't get it.
I actually think feet are gross.
I do too.
Yeah.
Not like gross, but like, I'm not going to look at somebody's feet and be like, damn.
I think feet are actually gross. Like that, they spend either all day on the ground or in socks.
Right.
And I honestly don't know which is worse.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you could look at somebody's feet and just be like, they may not be the greatest looking person, but damn those feet.
Look at those feet. I want to rub my dick on them.
I'm in because of those feet.
And I don't get it. I once had a girlfriend who wanted me to suck on her toes.
Right.
And
dude, I'd have to be like, dude, you need to wash that shit.
Yeah. And if she had just washed and I'm like, look, if we're both sucking on something, I can
deal if we're both sucking on something.
But it's just not my thing.
Yeah, I once was with a girl. She liked it when somebody licked the bottom of her feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I couldn't do it.
That's for some guys, that's the dream.
Like, dude, she's like, yeah, just lick the bottom of my feet while we're doing X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, I can't do it, man. I mean, and at the time, I thought I was into like some kinky stuff.
Yeah, but feet is a very specific kind of thing.
Yeah,
and you're either into it or you're not.
Yeah, it's just I'm not into it, man.
Yeah, you could be the kinkiest fucker in the world, but if feet don't do it for you, they don't do it for you.
But imagine just being able to make a living. You're some chick, and you could just make a living just sending dudes pictures of your feet. Like, dude, that is the dream. Yeah. That is the dream.
That is the dream. If you could just send pictures of your feet.
And you didn't have to show anything else.
Yeah. No boobies, no booties, no face, nothing.
Right. Just
feet.
Pictures of your feet and charge an obscene amount of money for it.
You don't even need to charge an obscene amount of money. If you're charging $10 a pop, but you take one picture of your foot and you send that out to 100 people,
right?
You just made $1,000.
Yeah. Damn. If you got good looking feet, it's a market you should look into.
Yeah.
Not my thing, but hey.
I bet there's a market for below average, wide, kind of hairy, middle-aged man's feet, and I just need to find these people.
There's a market for any kind of fetish, dude.
Yeah.
Any kind of fetish, there's a market for it.
There is.
There's some weird fetishes out there.
The thing that always blows my mind when I learned about it, and I will never not be blown away by this. Cake farting, man.
Yeah.
Cake farting.
Yeah. And
that's an established thing.
I thought you were making that up too.
Nah, man.
I know, trust me, I've done some research on it. It's real. It's it is apparently like they make it a big fancy thing.
Oh yeah. And
then this cake comes out.
Yeah.
And then somebody squats on a delicious looking cake.
And they fucking ruin it.
Yeah. And then they eat it.
Yeah.
Then you're eating somebody else's farts.
Yes. But everybody's got something that they're into.
But that's just gross, dude. You're eating somebody else's farts. That's like if somebody if you just put your face next to somebody's ass, why they let one rip? Mm-hmm. You just inhaled that shit just because you like the smell of it.
I knew a guy who was into that.
Really?
Yeah. He wanted a girl to bare butt fart directly into his face.
Damn.
Yeah. Like his face buried in the crack and then the farts just coming out.
That is some And I thought, like I said, I thought I was in it, but like shit like farting and like feet and like, nah, I'm not.
Yeah.
And like pooping on somebody, nah.
I mean,
I'm not into any of that.
Everybody's got something they're into, and then everybody's got stuff that's like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
it doesn't do it for me.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get the kick farting thing. I don't get the other one that I don't get. I can see why people like it. I don't get it.
All right.
It's the furry thing.
The furry thing.
Yeah.
I could. So here's my deal with the furry thing.
Right.
Because it's also not something I'm into, but if a cute girl wants to wear a costume and then, pound one out.
Yeah.
I can pound one out.
Well, I mean, yeah, I could do it too. I mean, I could do it. Don't get me wrong. I would not turn down some girl in a cute little bunny outfit or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to turn something down. I am not going to dress up in some weird ass.
What if she's wearing a Chewbacca outfit?
Cool. I'll do it.
Also, I'm going to tell you something. If she wants me to wear a Chewbacca outfit, and this is if I wasn't like happily married to my lovely wife who I love.
Right.
But if this was like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And some girl was into that, like I could, like feet don't do it for me.
Yeah, they don't do it for me.
Cake farts don't do it for me. But
Right.
I could, this isn't necessarily something I'm into, but I could totally be, if a girl was like, I just want to do furry sex, I'd be like, okay, yeah.
See, I couldn't do it if it was just furry sex. Like that'd be like, if you want to dress up every once in a while, that's cool with me.
Yeah. I'm not saying you got to marry this girl. She just wants to bang one out while you're both wearing.
Yeah, see, I can't do it every time.
Yeah.
I gotta have a little variety.
Yeah, me too. But if it's like, oh, hey, you, and she's like, hey, you wanna bang one out? I'm like, sure. And she's like, just one thing.
Like a fucking Muppet.
Just one thing. We both got to be dressed like
Muppets.
I got to be dressed like a Muppet, and you got to be dressed like Chewbacca. I'd be like, well, okay. That's a small price to pay.
See, I could do it. I could do it like an occasional thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I could do it like an occasional thing. I'd be fine with it.
Right. But that's
like
not
an all the time thing.
It's not what gets your motor going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like an all the time thing. Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. That'd be like somebody that would be like having sex at Disney.
Yeah.
Right? Which I could get behind. That I could get behind.
Yeah. It's one of those things where like I don't find it specifically off-putting.
Right.
The way
you find feet off-putting.
The way I find feet and farts off-putting.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't find it as off-putting as I find feet or farts. Yeah. I like to consider myself a pretty open-minded guy when it comes to stuff, but just dude, feet.
Everybody's into something, and I'm not even necessarily going to judge.
Right.
But there's some shit that it just like, it gives me a wicked case of the softies.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah. See, the other one that gets me that I'm just like, I just would never understand it is like people pooping on other people.
Yeah. Poop is gross.
It's gross.
It's gross.
But there's a big kink fetish for it.
It is. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't like.
There's also a pee fetish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pee I could almost understand because you can kind of get away with it. Like if you're in the shower with your significant other and you throw a little piss down, they're like, oh.
Yeah, that doesn't. That gives me the softies. Yeah. Yeah.
And they get all like that. They're kind of into getting pissed on.
Yeah. Gives me the softies.
Right.
Yeah. But again, to each his own. I'm not one to judge.
But pooping on somebody. I've seen a couple of videos. I got some weird friends. I've seen a couple of videos where like the way they set it up to where it's like they put like bags over the guy, like everywhere, right? Like his area over his head, over his face, just the area they're gonna poop on is the only area exposed. And that's the area they aim for.
Yeah.
And then the one video I saw, they were off aim. Like, dude, it's right there. How are you off aim?
Well, I mean, it's one of those things like I could hit a target peeing,
right?
But I pee standing up.
But you're literally squatting above that. You're squatting above the dude.
Yeah, but sometimes it comes out at an angle.
Right. And then you have to be sure. If you're the person that's pooping on the person that's sitting underneath you, you have to be sure that poop is a solid poop and not the runs.
Well, first off, I can tell before it comes out.
Right.
roughly what the consistency is going to be. I can certainly tell whether it's solid or liquid.
Right.
But maybe some people are like, oh, I like to poop. And it comes out and it's the runs. And they're like, oh, even better.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I heard there's like people pay big bucks for that stuff.
Yeah.
It's weird. Weird, people.
Yeah, to each his own.
To each his own.
There's a lot of people for whom paying for it is part of the kink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, each his own, man.
Yeah.
Each his own. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But moving on.
All right.
Because that was just the intro.
Do we want to get to a more wholesome topic?
Yeah. 10 minutes in, people are already like, I'm not listening to this anymore. All they're talking about is poop for the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And defeat.
Do we want?
But if you're still here,
do we want to talk about the meowing nuns?
Yeah, well, we got options, dude. We could talk about the meowing nuns
because after everything we just said, and I say meowing nuns, and the audience is probably like they're going to talk about another sex thing.
Yeah, but it's not sex.
But it's not a sex thing.
It's not a sex thing. I got to find the meowing nuns. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, let's move into the meowing nuns. I personally wanted to move into the Great Laughter Epidemic of 1962, but
1962,
the Great Laughter Epidemic.
Where?
In a boarding school in Tarzania.
Tarzania?
It's always in some weird place. It's never like, in Bakersfield, California. No, it's in like Tarzania or Romania or places that people are like.
Wait, do you mean Tarzana?
Tarzana, yeah.
Tarzana, California?
No, Tarzania. Tanzania.
Tanzania?
There it is.
All right, cool.
I thought there was an R there. There's not.
That's okay.
Okay, so, 1962, in a boarding school in Tanzania, 3-year-olds started laughing uncontrollably. Instead of stopping, the laughter spread like a virus. It eventually forced the school to shut down and spread to nearby villages, affecting over 1,000 people. You know,
you don't think of these obscure little countries in sub-Saharan Africa and think that's a place where people just laugh uncontrollably. So it's nice that they had that.
Dude, and it wasn't like happy laughter either. I mean, it was accompanied by, like, from what I understand, people were like having respiratory issues and they were having crying fits.
So
it lasted for 18 months.
Just maniacal laughing hysteria.
Yeah,
that's actually frightening.
Like just imagine like you're in this village and it was started by 3 girls and now everybody in your little village or whatever is fucking laughing.
Yeah.
And people are fainting and stuff, and they're like, "Oh my god!" But I can't stop laughing.
Yeah.
And you're trying to have a serious conversation with somebody, like, "Hey, your so and so passed away." You're just hysterically laughing, trying to tell somebody else passed away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not one of these things that was in like the medieval times. It was in like 1962.
1962. That's modern times.
You know?
Yeah.
Back when I think Kennedy first became president, right?
He was president in 62, yeah. He wasn't first. I mean, he'd been president for a minute at that point.
But yeah, man, we got strange facts about history, people. So hopefully you stuck with us.
Yeah. The laughter of Tanzania.
Yeah, it went from 1,000 people to like whole villages. It's spread for like 18 months.
Goddamn.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's one.
All right.
Yeah, that's one.
I like laughing, but 18 months would just be too much.
It wasn't like you could stop either. From what I read, it's like it's like constant.
That's hysterical laughter.
It sounds like something. You know what it reminds me of?
What?
It reminds me of like something that would happen in one of the Batman comics.
Yeah, when the Joker uses laughing gas. Yeah. And people laugh themselves to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it reminds me of. So there you go for you nerds out there.
Yeah.
But we could move on to the great French cat meowing incident.
Is this the one with the nuns?
This is yes, the one with the nuns. Here's the thing about this one.
Yes.
Is because it happened in the Middle Ages. You can't be like, oh, it didn't happen.
Well, no, you absolutely can.
How? It happened in the Middle Ages. You can't just be like, oh, no, that didn't happen.
Oh, no, you can't just, but listen, there's a lot of crazy shit that happened in the Middle Ages
Dude, the Middle Ages was crazy.
But there's a lot of crazy shit that happened in the Middle Ages that you can reasonably say, like,
I mean,
oh no, this fucking saint didn't come back from the dead and walk along the walls to save the city from fucking destruction.
But then you could at least put somebody in a guillotine and cut their head off because they're a witch.
Well, no, you couldn't in the Middle Ages because guillotine wasn't invented until.
Well, you could just cut their head off.
Yeah. Back then, they had professional head choppers.
Yeah. So anyway,
in France, they used a sword.
All right. Well, speaking of France, we're in France.
We're in France.
French.
Yeah.
We're in the French right now.
Mm-hmm.
We are in the French right now.
We're in France.
Yes. The Great French Cat Meowing Incident. During the Middle Ages, a nun in a French convent inexplicably. Yes, there you go. Started meowing like a cow. Within hours, every other nun in the convent joined in.
That's hysteria.
Yeah. They would all stand together and meow in unison for several hours at the same time every single day. That would just be some weird shit.
Every single day?
Every single day at the same time.
I would think maybe it would happen like in spurts on like a 4-week cycle.
But this is why you can't, how do you know it's in the Middle Ages? How do you know it was every single day? Like, how do you know that's a fact?
There would have been an abbot, an abbess.
Are you just making shit up right now?
Look, these people were literate, and there was somebody in charge writing the shit down.
Right.
As it was happening.
I don't know, man. Every day seems like I could get it if it was like you said every 4 weeks.
Well, yeah, if it was that, it was like their cycles are lining up.
Yeah,
because you get a bunch of
and back then they weren't medical stuff. They didn't really talk about medical stuff,
right,
in the 1500s.
Yeah, in fact, back then they wouldn't even let a woman into church if she was on her time of the month.
Right.
I mean, depending on where you were.
Right. They only stopped because the police started to whip the nuns with the rods until they went back to being quiet. That's like such a medieval thing
That's
to
the
do.
Perfect fucking medieval Europe thing. There's women behaving strangely. All right, threaten to whip them with rods.
Threaten to whip them with rods.
But remember the rule of thumb. The rods can be no thicker than your thumb.
until they're quiet. Until those nuns are quiet again.
Yes.
We will whip them with our rods.
Yeah, and it's not just regular women, it's nuns.
It's nuns. We're not going to get Scott or anything.
Yeah, we're just literally
trying to get the
whipping
demons.
God's wife with a rod because we don't like that she's meowing
at the same time every day. It's quite annoying.
Well, if it solves the problem, it solves the problem. That said, here's the thing with mass hysteria. If it's not happening every day, that means it's stopped happening.
Right.
So I believe that it was happening every day.
Right.
Yeah.
It could. But there's it just goes to show there's all kinds of fake news, even going back to into medieval times, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can't trust nothing. Like the other day I was thinking about this. The other day I was telling you before we went on, I was reading somewhere and it seemed silly to me. I didn't think it was real, but it just seemed silly to me. I read this thing where the article said the president said this, but it's not actual fact, okay?
Right, yeah.
It's not fact. This is not a factual thing. Apparently, if you fill your gas tank up after 9 o'clock at night,
you get more gas?
You get more gas because the gas, you see, expands.
Yeah.
It expands. Therefore, you fill your tank up with less money. That was the point of the article, is that you spend less at the gas pump because you're filling it up at 9 o'clock and the tank expands.
I would think the tank would contract. I would think everything would contract at night.
No, because you're not understanding. It's because the air is cooler at night.
Oh, the air is cooler at night.
Yes.
So the gas expands. So it fills up more. Wait. By this logic, you're saving money by putting less gas in your gas tank.
Exactly.
But won't you just have to fill up earlier?
Well, now you're using logic.
Now I'm using logic. Right. Yeah. Also, let's not think about the fact that the gas is stored underground, so it's the same temperature around the clock.
People just want to fucking they don't want to pay the money at the gas pump right now, which I get.
Yeah.
They're looking for any kind of silly solution, right?
I say drive downhill.
That's the other one. That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
My favorite one is when driving, always find routes that are downhill.
Yeah.
Because it'll save you gas mileage. Because you're not.
Yeah. As long as you're always driving downhill,
Yes.
then you'll always be saving gas.
You'll always be saving gas.
So wherever you're going, make sure you take the downhill route.
And don't press the gas when you're going downhill. See, that's the thing, is you can't press the gas when you're going down. You coast.
Right, you coast.
And so that way you're saving gas whilst coasting.
Yeah.
And you win. You beat the pump.
It's all about winning.
And it's all about beating the gas prices that are out, that are just,
Yeah.
people are complaining about.
Yeah.
My other favorite kind of people during a crisis like this are people that are kind of like me,
Mm-hmm.
where you're just kind of like, whatever, we're just going to pay at the pump.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go for a leisure drive right now.
Yeah, I'm not going for a leisure drive, and I'm not driving to I'm not trying to drive over 150 miles an hour,
Right.
150 miles or whatever.
Right.
I'm going to stay local.
Yeah.
I'm going to commute to and from work.
Mm-hmm.
And it is what it is, man. It's gas prices.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah.
The people I feel bad about,
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad for, though, are the people with those big-ass trucks.
Yeah.
Because they're spending like 200, and we're in California, mind you, so our gas prices are already high.
They are very high, yeah.
And now they're even higher.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like $6 a gallon out here.
It is $6 a gallon out there, yeah.
Yeah.
My car burns a lot of gas.
Right.
And because
you got an SUV.
Yeah, it's actually on a truck chassis, and I got it because I need to tow my trailer.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. But, I mean, that thing fucking just gulps up the gas.
Yeah. See, I'm lucky mine may have some mechanical issues,
Mm-hmm.
right? It may piss me off from time to time,
Mm-hmm.
and I always have something I got to fix on it.
Yeah.
Because it's a 2011.
Yeah.
But the thing gets like 25, 26 miles a gallon, 26 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
So I'm not complaining right now.
Yeah.
Like,
my Corolla, I could get 32 miles a gallon out of that thing.
As a matter of fact, here's a funny thing. There's a period for this actually happened. There was a period for the last 2 months where my radio, the audio in my radio kept making this fucking weird ass chirping sound.
Uh-huh.
And I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
Right? I thought maybe I blew the power amp or something like that. Maybe I had this. I tried everything. I tried Google and shit. I tried reading the manual. Couldn't figure it out. Figure out what the fuck they were saying. Oh, it's the chirping sound is coming from the fact that the high res from the alternator. So you're gonna have to replace the alternator. Yada yada yada. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to replace the alternator.
The alternator?
Yeah.
Because your stereo's making a chirping sound?
Exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Didn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I shut the thing down.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't use it for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm like, at this point, I don't want to fix another thing on this car.
Yeah.
I love this car to death, but I ain't going to put in another $600 or whatever to fix the radio. Get a little external speaker, I'll be good.
Yeah, a little Bluetooth speaker, you're good to go.
That's what I got. Anyway, until recently, and then I was doing a little more research, and I was talking to a buddy of mine that's really into cars, and he goes, a lot of those 2011 Hyundai Sonatas, that's what I drive,
Mm-hmm.
He's like, they had these relay things in the fuse box, right? The relay controls the horn, controls the steering, if you have that out for a long period of time, the computer will send a message like a chirping sound through the radio. This I understood.
Yeah.
This made sense to me. That coming from the alternator didn't make sense to me.
Right.
So I went on to Amazon, and this just happened like 2 days ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
I went on to Amazon and got the little part number, got the part delivered to me for like $3.
Yeah.
$4.
Popped out the old one, put in the new one.
I popped out the old one a long time ago.
Oh,
and
okay.
I think that's why the chirping sound was coming in through the audio.
Okay.
I had it out for so long. Because what was happening before is the horn was just randomly going off when I was driving.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so
you don't want that.
I don't know. It just made me look like an idiot.
Yeah.
So I took that out because the horn was going off, and it stopped, and then I disconnected the horn.
All right.
So who needs a fucking horn anyway?
It's a safety feature, but okay.
Anyway, I put it back in 2 days ago.
Mhm.
Tripped a little bit when I first put it back in.
Mhm.
Didn't use it. So for the last 2 days, I've been driving around with the radio on, which I'm really happy about.
Yep.
No chirping.
Nice.
So I don't know why I went on a tangent, but
It doesn't matter. I was thinking maybe you had a bird living in your speaker.
yeah, but it was like an annoying. It wasn't like a bird chirping. It was like almost like a beat, like a high pitched. You know what I mean? Beep, chirp.
Like a deliberate electronic.
Yeah, and then sometimes it would just
Yeah.
go on for a while. Like it would just go on, and it was annoying. Which is why you could possibly believe that the voltage from the alternator going out was causing it, because it was really from the dashboard and not from the audio. But
Yeah.
whatever, I got it fixed.
All right.
Yeah, and I just went on a tangent about my car. And
That's fine.
I had one more thing I wanted to talk about too, and we're almost half an hour in, but I'm going to talk about it. You want to keep going?
Let's do it.
Because we got to talk about the dancing plague of 1518
Oh, yeah.
in 16th century. See, these all take place in the 15th, 16th century.
Except the one that took place in 1962.
Well, yeah, and that one was. I can't remember which one that was.
That was the laughter.
Yeah, the laughter. But it was in some faraway place, though, too.
Tanzania.
Tanzania.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it was in Bakersfield or something.
Right.
But this one is in.
There probably was no Bakersfield in 15
Yeah,
anything.
probably not.
Yeah.
Starsburg?
Salzburg?
Sarsborg, yes.
Salzburg?
Sarsborg.
Salzburg.
Yeah. And women started dancing feverishly in the street for no reason. Within a month, 400 people had joined her. They did not stop for weeks.
Mhm.
Not to eat, not to sleep, not to rest, until many literally died from exhaustion or heart attacks. Local doctors at the time actually recommended more dancing to cure them.
Yeah.
Even built a wooden stage for the crowd.
Get it out of their system.
Get it out of your system. But how do you're just walking down the street one day, and all of a sudden you just start dancing to a beat in your own head?
You never felt the need to bust a move?
No.
Well, these people did.
Yeah, obviously.
Spontaneously. In 15 whatever, in Salzburg.
In 1510.
In 1510. That's actually
Another thing if you can't check if it was real or not.
That's actually not the only dancing plague
really?
that happened. Yeah,
one?
there were a few. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And they all basically were the same thing. Someone started dancing, and then it caught on, and then it got bad, and then it went away.
Yeah, kind of like a trend. But people didn't die.
Yeah, but it wasn't a trend. It was mass hysteria.
Right.
Yeah.
Mass hysteria is a funny thing.
It is.
It's a funny thing.
Remember the year 2020?
I do remember the year 2020.
Yeah, mass hysteria is a funny thing until you're living through it, and then it's like, this is...
Dude, they were trying to do that again with that fucking ship. I almost was about ready to lose it.
Is the hantavirus ship?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's like, oh my God, it's going to be 2020 again.
No, it's not.
Yeah, no, it's not. Leave it to the fucking interweb to try to make a big deal out of nothing.
This is not the first time people have got hantavirus.
Right. But it's always on a cruise. Why do weird diseases always start on a fucking cruise ship?
They don't start on a cruise ship, but they're catching on a cruise ship because everybody's just packed in there in close quarters.
Yeah, you're never going to get me on a cruise.
I went on a cruise once. It was okay.
You know, you're just not. Maybe if I went to Alaska, because I feel like maybe the cold air would keep me a little, you'd be a little safer, because with some of these cruise ships, man, like you just hear these horror stories all the time. And I'm like, I don't want to go on a cruise ship.
Did you hear how the hantavirus outbreak started on the cruise ship?
From the only way hantavirus starts is from rodent fucking feces.
Yeah. Well, what happened was one of the passengers on a cruise ship took, I guess, before he got on the cruise ship, or maybe it was on one of the, I think it was probably before he got on the cruise ship. He went to a garbage dump in Argentina.
Right.
And he was an entomologist, so he studies bugs, I guess. And so he went to a garbage dump to look at bugs, came into contact with rat turds or whatever.
Right.
And
wash his fucking hands.
Didn't wash his hands, and then he had a sandwich for lunch and fucking hantavirus.
Dude, if you go to, everybody knows, if you go to the fucking dump, wash your fucking hands.
Wash your fucking hands before you eat. I one time went to the dump and then I was really hungry and there was a burrito truck there, so I got a burrito. I didn't wash my hands, but I like wiped them off on my...
Yeah, but you didn't fucking die either.
I didn't die either, but that burrito chewed up my guts, man.
most burritos from a burrito truck by a dump would do that to you.
My reasoning when I saw it is I was like, at first, who would buy, who would eat from a truck at the dump, right? Who?
You.
And then I thought to myself, that's naturally the first question everyone asks. And so if this place is here, they must have a really good burrito if they're still open.
Right.
Yeah, I was wrong about that. It was a combination of flavorless and spicy. It tore up my guts.
That's what you get for thinking you can get a good burrito from a burrito truck by a dump.
Yeah, so that's on me.
So if you're out in the world and you go to the dump, wash your hands. You don't want to create viruses and shit. We don't want to go through 2020. We don't need mass hysteria again and go through 2020 again.
Yeah.
And no matter what the news is telling you, it's not gonna become 2020 again. We're okay.
Well, I mean, it might, nothing's a pandemic until it is.
Right.
But it's most pandemics, most of the time, people never even, it never affects people in good old America.
Right. Anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up. For about 35 minutes.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Remember Zika virus?
No.
Yeah, that's right.
Was that the next version of the virus that shall not be named?
Zika was 12 years ago, maybe. And it would it was like a mild thing, but if you got it while you were pregnant, your baby might end up with a shrunken head.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Yeah. And then they quickly got a vaccine out and all that.
Yeah. See, that's why I think the virus that shall not be named, I think it was blown way out of proportion.
I don't think it was, but I think people...
Blown way out of proportion in the sense that, I believe it was, I know it was a real thing.
Yeah.
I'm not denying that it was a real thing.
Yeah.
I got sick from it.
Yeah, me too.
Right? But it wasn't go to the hospital sick.
I actually did end up in the emergency room when I got it. I didn't have to get on a ventilator or anything.
Yeah.
But it that Corona 1.0 killed about 1% of people who got it.
I think it's because they didn't catch it early enough, because I had it at the very beginning, and I thought it was from back when I was vaping. Because there was this whole story, and I think what happened is they conveniently, in the beginning, this is very beginning early.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm going to say this and people are going to get all fucking mad at me, but I'm a firm believer in this.
Yeah.
Back when they had the whole thing about, what were those things people were vaping on back then? The ones that were really popular that everybody used?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Right?
The disposable vape pens.
I can't remember the name of the company.
Yeah, me neither.
But everybody was getting sick from it.
Juul?
Juul, yeah. Everybody was getting sick from their Juul, right? And it was the same symptoms as fucking the coronavirus. Exact same symptoms.
Yeah. And it was all right before they came out with the tests for the corona and everything. Yeah.
And I got it that early, thinking that it was from vaping.
Yeah.
Thinking that, but it turned out it was actually the coronavirus.
Yeah. It
was all the same symptoms. Right?
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
And that company, Juul, just went under from all that.
Yeah, you don't see Juuls around much anymore.
You don't see Juuls around much anymore. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for this episode.
Yeah.
If you stuck with us from the beginning about all the kinky stuff and to the wholesome.
And the color blue.
And the color blue. Thank you. If you like what we do, you could always leave a review of the show, and it really helps us out. And we have a website, shaneandishow.com. If you go to our mailing list, you sign up for an email. These episodes get dropped right into your inbox as soon as they come out.
Fuck yeah.
So there you go. Until next time, America.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.